This is the Well Body Podcast with your host, Renee, the place where everyday women learn how to stop running on empty, reset their energy, nourish their bodies, and feel strong again. Let's get into it. Have you ever had one of those mornings where you wake up already tired, you haven't done anything yet and your body feels heavy? You drag yourself out of bed, maybe grab a coffee, maybe skip breakfast because you're not that hungry, or because you're trying to be quote-unquote good, and by mid-morning you already feel flat. You're doing the workouts, you're eating what you think is healthy, you're trying to be disciplined, but your energy is unpredictable. Your motivation comes and goes, your body feels resistant, and somewhere in the back of your mind you start wondering, is my metabolism broken? Am I just getting older? Is this how my body is now? If any of this sounds familiar, I really want you to stay with me for this episode because I see this all the time in my work. Women who are incredibly capable, strong, disciplined, and doing so much, yet feel like their body just isn't keeping up anymore. And when we stop fighting the body and start supporting it properly, energy returns in ways they didn't even realize were possible. So let me say this clearly right from the start. Your metabolism isn't broken, your body isn't failing you, and you are not doing something wrong. Your body has been adapting. It has been responding to stress, underfueling, overfunctioning, and pressure, exactly the way it was designed to. This episode isn't about pushing harder, eating less, or trying to override your body. It's about understanding how energy is actually created in the body and how to support the systems that have been quietly keeping you alive, even when you've felt exhausted. So let's talk about what metabolism really is and why energy is the output of a system that needs support, not punishment. Most people think metabolism is just how fast you burn calories, but metabolism is so much more than that. Your metabolism is the sum of all the processes that keep you alive. It's how your body produces energy. It's how it regulates hormones. It's how it controls body temperature, how it digests food, how it repairs tissues, how it recovers from stress, how it thinks, moves, and adapts. Your metabolism is not a number, it's a system. And energy is the output of that system. So when energy is low, it doesn't mean your body is failing, it means the system is under-supported. So let's touch on the mitochondria again. You might have heard me mention this in other episodes in the energy series. And if you haven't heard those series, I highly recommend you go back to the Well Body Podcast and listen to those other episodes because they will really help you understand how to improve your energy overall. So, the mitochondria, inside every single cell in your body, a little mitochondria. Their job is to take the food that you eat and the oxygen you breathe and convert them into ATP, which is the energy currency your body runs on. This might ring a bell from biology in school if you took biology. More healthy mitochondria equals more energy. And here's the important part. You don't just have mitochondria, you actually build them. You increase mitochondrial number and function through things like strength training, walking, eating enough food, getting enough protein and micronutrients, sleeping deeply, managing stress. And you downregulate them through chronic dieting, undereating, poor sleep, chronic inflammation, and long-term stress. When mitochondrial function is low, it feels like deep fatigue, it feels like brain fog, it feels like poor recovery, it feels like low motivation, low libido, exercise intolerance, and feeling like even small tasks take massive effort. And that's not laziness. That's cellular exhaustion. Your body is conserving energy because it doesn't feel safe to produce more. The engine of metabolic energy is muscle. Muscle is one of the most misunderstood tissues in women's health. We've been taught to fear muscle, to avoid bulking and focus on shrinking, and I'm seeing this unfortunately pop up on TikTok and Instagram. Again, women putting out programs like personal trainers that I'm so disappointed in, putting out programs on how to get rid of your muscle. Like, are we really still there? Are we still worried about how skinny we look? It just blows my mind. Muscle is one of the most powerful metabolic organs you have. Muscle will improve your insulin sensitivity, which again is fantastic for those who have PCOS. Muscle is important for stabilizing your blood sugar, so helping you to actually process foods like eating a croissant on its own. It increases your metabolic flexibility. It supports your hormone balance, which is massively going to improve your menstrual cycle. It's going to improve your PMS. It's going to improve your perimenopausal symptoms. Muscle supports your joints and your bones, which is going to prevent you from injury. It's going to prevent you from tissue damage. It's going to prevent you from feeling aches and pains like someone who doesn't train. Of course, disclaimer here, you need to be training functionally and correctly. And side note, if you need help with your training, do look at the show notes below and check out the Reset to Rise program, which is a program built on all of the nutrition foundations and movement foundations that I talk about on the podcast. Back to the podcast. It also helps to reduce inflammation, having muscle, and will improve your long-term energy. The more muscle you have, the easier it is for your body to manage your energy. Less muscle means your body has to work harder to regulate blood sugar, which then leads to crashes, cravings, and fatigue. And this is why strength training is a non-negotiable for women, especially as we age. And if you want to learn more about the importance of movement, I have got plenty of podcast episodes on the importance of muscle and exercise that I highly recommend you go and check out. Strength training is not just for aesthetics, it's for energy, it's for resilience, and it's for longevity. And we need to start seeing exercise as longevity, as resilience for our body, and not just for something to shrink our bodies and look good in a bikini. That's a bonus. Not the shrinking part, but the bikini part. Okay? Your hormones are the conductors of your metabolic orchestra. Your thyroid hormones regulate metabolic rate. Insulin controls how energy is stored and released. Cortisol manages stress and glucose. Estrogen and progesterone influence energy, mood, recovery, and resilience. When these hormones are supported, energy feels steady. When they're disrupted, energy feels chaotic. Chronic stress, undereating, poor sleep, and excessive high-intensity training all disrupt this hormonal balance. And the body responds intelligently because she is always working. She is intelligent. She's always trying to communicate with you too. Your body's going to respond in a way where things slow down. Your body starts to conserve more energy, and it will prioritize survival because at the end of the day, your body is doing one thing, and that's to keep you alive and keep you safe. Not because it's broken, but because your body is protecting you, always. And this is why, a really important thing we need to touch on, a really important piece of the puzzle for a lot of women, is why dieting and chronic dieting will actually make women feel more exhausted. Chronic calorie restriction sends a very clear message to the body. Food is scarce, stress is high, survival is required. So the body will adapt by lowering your metabolic output, reducing energy expenditure, how much energy that your body uses, and it increases your hunger signals because your body's going, holy shit, we're hungry, we need food now. And there's only so much you can kind of mentally avoid that hunger cue. And then it disrupts your hormones. Also, the body will adapt by conserving fuel. So this is not failure. This is biology doing exactly what it's meant to do. And this is why so many women feel exhausted, flat, and stuck despite quote-unquote doing everything right. True metabolic health does not come from restriction, it comes from support. Through eating enough, through good nutrition, not starving yourself. Diet culture has a lot to explain for, and it's still not great out there. I kind of went back on TikTok this year, and I've been just kind of looking and seeing what people have been posting, and some of it blows my mind that there are people that still post the type of content they're posting about diet culture. It's scary, and it makes me not want to even let my daughter near social media until she's 20. It's scary that the stuff that people post on dieting and not eating enough and how to, maintain being skinny and having a skinny girl mindset. It's ridiculous. And what it's going to do is it's going to massively affect your energy levels. It's massively going to affect the mitochondria of your cell, which then in turn is going to lead to things like fatigue. And then your output to life is not great because you feel like shit all the time. So low-calorie dieting and chronic dieting and restriction when you're a woman and you're a hormonal woman is not okay. It's not going to work for you. And it'll only work for a short period of time, and then you'll be needing to eat everything and everything because your body is going into holy shit survival feed me mode, So how can we actually support metabolic energy? Well, what we actually need to do is create safety in the body first through eating enough food consistently, prioritizing protein, strength training 2 to 3 times per week, walking every day. We're meant to move. We're not meant to sit every day. Sleeping deeply, so improving our sleep quality, reducing chronic stress in our life, and respecting your menstrual cycle and energy fluctuations, not fighting against them because you're trying to be this woman who can do it all every day, all the time. When your body feels safe, it stops conserving. And when it stops conserving, the energy returns. Okay? So a supportive metabolism will feel like steady energy throughout the day, fewer energy crashes, clearer thinking, better recovery from workouts, stable hunger cues, less obsession with food, more resilience to stress, a body that feels like it's working with you. And this is what we're actually aiming for. We're not trying to burn more. We're not trying to do more. We're trying to function better. So when we implement the things that I've spoken about so far in the energy series, which is good balanced nutrition, exercise such as strength training, we're focusing on our nervous system and making sure our nervous system is not constantly in that fight or flight mode. We're making sure that we are getting enough sleep. We're then going to have better metabolic health, which in turn is going to improve our energy. We want to create healthy cells in the body so that we thrive and feel our best and feel as though that we can do so much more in life. Because your metabolism is not the enemy here. And it's a myth when someone says, oh, I'm getting older, my metabolism's just not how it used to be. Well, the getting older part might be true, but the metabolism thing could be a product of your environment. It could be everything that's going on around you. It could be the fact that you're not getting enough sleep. It could be the fact that you're not eating enough. It could be the fact that you're running on ultra-processed protein foods. So when you start to implement all of these tools into your life, and we're not going to overhaul our life overnight, we're just going to start to slowly implement little things that make a massive difference to our overall health, we get more out of life. And when you get more out of life, that's a life well lived because you only get one shot at it, right? And life is too long to be miserable and low in energy and feeling like you can't, book a holiday which involves hiking and swimming because you haven't got the energy to do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, your life is so valuable and, you should be so grateful that you get to live the life that you're living. And you have every opportunity to get up in the morning and make a choice to improve your energy, to improve your environment, to start setting boundaries, to make that conscious decision with your food so that you can get more out of it. I cannot stress enough. Like, I don't know how I would personally be able to do all the things that I do if I didn't eat well, exercise regular, focus on building muscle and being strong, letting go of all fucks of what anyone thinks. This is what gives me so much energy to do so much in my life. And I love that about me. And I want the same for you. So I really want you to take away from this episode today that your metabolism is not the enemy. It has been adapting, it has been protecting you, and it's been keeping you alive through stress, pressure, and underfueling. So when you stop fighting your body and you start supporting your biology, energy will follow naturally. I'm really excited for the next episode because we're going to be talking about the hidden energy drains, the subtle things that are stealing your energy every day without you even realizing. This is going to be a great episode. So make sure you have the notification bell on so you know when I upload the next episodes on the podcast. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you for tuning in, and I hope you are learning some valuable tools and tips from these podcast episodes. If you do, then please leave me a 5-star review and share this episode with someone who really needs to hear it. I honestly am so grateful for you tuning in and making this podcast possible. You're amazing. Have the best day, evening, or morning, whenever it is that you listen to this podcast. And I can't wait to have you tune in on the next episode of the Wow Body Podcast. Do check the show notes for all links below, where I have linked all of my programs, all of my resources, all of my free resources to help you on your health and well-being journey. So go and check them out, especially if you are loving what you're hearing. If you're loving the tools and everything that you're learning on the podcast, you'll love the resources that are available for you to download. Thanks for listening to the Wow Body Podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave me a review or share it with someone who needs to hear it. You can find more support, resources, and information on my website at www.beyondthebody.co. Until next time, I look forward to having you in the next episode.